Here's why the 2025 CT5-V Blackwing is the best new sports sedan money can buy. Check this out. It comes standard with a 6-speed manual transmission. This is the only sports sedan you can buy in 2025 with a manual that's a V8 and rear-wheel drive. Under the hood is a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 from the Corvette Z06 C7 generation. It makes 668 horsepower, 659 pound-feet of torque, and with the 6-speed manual, it does 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. 3.5 with the 10-speed auto, but please get the manual. The Blackwing was already a very handsome sedan, but there are some visual updates to the 2025 model. We have new revised LED daytime running lights with this waterfall feature that's awesome, slightly revised front grille with this V shape. It honestly looks so good already, but this modernizes it a little bit. But the real updates to the 2025 are the 33-inch screen and the optional Precision Pack that takes on-track performance to a whole nother level to celebrate Cadillac V-Series' 20th anniversary. At $18,000, the Precision Package seems like a lot of money, and it is, but it offers a ton of value. $9,000 carbon ceramic brakes to reduce brake fade on track, as well as reduce unsprung mass. We also have a revised suspension setup, 70% stiffer in the front, 57% stiffer in the rear. We have revised steering, new steering knuckles, new rear toe links, so we have more aggressive camber on track, revised traction control management. The result is an on-track and on-road experience that is next to none in the sports sedan world. We've got a revised quad exhaust system. It's incredibly loud and super fast. In fact, this car is 2 seconds faster around VIR than a BMW M5 CS. So let's hop inside, shall we? In the back of the Blackwing now, and how cool are these carbon fiber backed bucket seats? It's really simple back here. I do have plenty of legroom, not the best headroom in the world, but you've got the coolest view of these carbon buckets. I love it. In the driver's seat of the Blackwing, these bucket seats are some of the best ever created. They're comfortable, they're supportive, and to my surprise, they even have a massage function. If I click the button on the side of the seat, it activates a massage. If I click another little button, it'll pop up on the screen here, so you've got a multitude of different massage settings. It's electronically controlled, it's heated, and it's ventilated. Honestly, I think auto manufacturers are gonna copy this seat. It proves you don't need a manual one, and you can have all these creature comforts in something that holds you in place really well. The shift linkage for the 6-speed manual is absolutely fantastic. When you start it up, it comes without auto rev matching on. You can click a button right here to turn on the rev matching. Next to it, we have the mode selector to switch between different driving modes. You'll notice up on the screen here, you've got some awesome graphics when you switch between Tour, Sport, and Track. Now, my favorite is when we go into track mode, the tachometer has this awesome horizontal layout, which looks so cool. Now, coming over to the steering wheel, we have a V mode button on the steering wheel itself. If I click that, you can customize it to change the steering, the suspension, the brake feel, etc. Click it again, you activate performance traction management. This dial right here can switch different traction modes. You'll notice there's a little graphic on the screen that shows how much the car is slipping. So in race 2, it's really drifting. In race 1, it's only a little sideways, sport, and then dry and wet. Awesome heads-up display. The graphics on the new screen are awesome. My only complaints really with the interior, I don't love this section here. I think it's because this screen curves backwards and this screen curves forwards, so it creates this kind of weird shelf here. And the AKG speaker system honestly isn't the best. But other than that, the interior is a huge update from the previous generation. But this car is all about the driving experience, and it is truly incredible. So let's take it out on the road and see what it's like to drive. Behind the wheel of the CT5-V Blackwing now, and this thing is an absolute monster. It is so quick, it sounds so good, and the steering, suspension, transmission setup, brake feel, it is all amazing. This is the most engaging, most fun to drive sports sedan you can buy in 2025, bar none. I think it's one of the best cars released in 2025. It's so sad that nowadays, manual sedans are few and far between. There's only a couple of them. And if you want a V8 rear-wheel drive manual, this is the only option. But it's the best option, even if there were others. This thing is ridiculous. It's more fun to drive than an M5. It's more fun than an RS7 or an E63, and it costs less. The performance package gives you stiffer front suspension, stiffer rear suspension, more aggressive alignment setup for the track, optional Cup 2Rs. This is on Pilot Sport 4Ss, and even with 4Ss, the level of grip is staggering. We've got a 5-stage traction control from the Performance Traction Management that allows you to adjust the car from basically driving itself for you to an all-out drift machine and burnout machine. But just listen to how good this sounds. Oh my gosh. Supercharged V8 manual, it does not get much better than that. And the great part is, despite the stiffer springs and that precision package, it actually rides great over bumps around town. Driving this thing normally is an absolute joy. So let's flick it back into a more civilized tour mode with this toggle in the center console here. And that's just an easy car to drive around town, even in bumper-to-bumper traffic. The gearbox is really easy to use. The clutch is nice and light. It's nearly impossible to stall. Now, when you fire this thing up, I love the fact that it turns the car on in the previous mode that you were in, but it has rev matching off. You have to manually turn on rev matching in order for the car to downshift and rev match for you, which I think is cool. You're in the most analog mode from the get-go, and you have to control it, unlike Porsches that in Sport Plus mode, automatically you've got rev matching on, it's off. So if you really want to prove that you're a serious driver, turn traction control all the way off in this thing and do it without rev matching, and it's a handful. When we get to a straightaway up ahead, I'll show you, there is a multi-stage traction control that you can custom set the RPM, anywhere from 2,500, 3,500, and you can choose the slip amount, which I think is really cool. Having a launch control with a variable RPM setting in a manual is a pretty cool feature. Helps you get a better 0 to 60 time in a manual car. Obviously, it's gonna be a bit quicker with that 10-speed automatic, but look, in this day and age, especially when it's so rare to get this manual transmission, you gotta opt for the manual. And even if every car had a manual, and it wasn't that rare, I'd still rather have the manual than the 10-speed automatic. There are some advantages. The 10-speed does give you Super Cruise, which is nice. Basically maintains itself in the lanes, drives for you. It also gives you remote start from the key, but this is a car you want to drive, not drive for you. So while sometimes in bumper-to-bumper traffic it might be nice if it could drive itself, obviously that's a difficult thing to do with a manual transmission. But when we get up ahead, we'll make sure we're in the right mode and we will launch this thing. So to set it up for a launch control, let's put it back into track mode. And then let's go ahead and turn the traction control system into race 2. There we go, for the PTM. And then on the left side of the screen, it's interesting, there's a touch screen on the left side of the steering wheel, which I don't think I've ever seen before other than in a Cadillac. So we'll go ahead and click this little stopwatch button. RPM launch control set to 3,500. I tried that before, it was a little much. Reduce the slip a little bit. And let's see what happens. That is absolutely awesome. Obviously, the car is capable of a much better launch than that, but I don't know if it's capable of a more fun launch than that. We also have line lock, which is awesome, which gives you the ability to do a standing smoky burnout in the burnout box in case you want to warm the tires up at the drag strip. But it's amazing that this car can truly be comfortable on the road, can be taken to a drag strip, and can be driven on the track. And it's 2 seconds faster around VIR than a BMW M5 CS. Let me repeat that. It's 2 seconds faster than an M5 CS. That's an incredible feat for a CT5-V Blackwing. And it feels every bit as quick, and it feels every bit as manageable, like you are a superhero behind the wheel. It's just such a nicely set up, well-balanced car. I'm in love with this thing. I don't love the speaker system. I wish the AKG speakers were better. And I think the dash layout needs an update more than just the 33-inch display. But you can forgive those things because it's such a good driving car. One thing I did notice is if you have bigger water bottles or a canteen of sorts, it won't fit in here, and you have to squeeze water bottles into the side pockets. How often are you gonna take larger drinks inside this car? I guess that's up to you. I don't, but I could see it being an issue for some people. Plenty of legroom in the back. Not quite as much headroom as I would like, but it looks so cool that I can forgive that, honestly. I love this. It reminds me of a modern reinterpretation of the E39 BMW M5, which to me and to many is the best sports sedan ever created. But if you want a modern version with significantly more horsepower, I mean, that had 400 horsepower, it was fast back in 2000, but now that's kind of run-of-the-mill 400 horsepower. But what's not run-of-the-mill is a relatively lightweight, I mean, it's crazy to call 4,100 pounds these days lightweight, but it kind of is, as the sedan segment is pushing into the 5,000, sometimes 6,000 pound range. And then to have that manual, the driver involvement, the rear-wheel drive layout, it's just an absolute pleasure. I love this thing. I absolutely love this thing. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next time.